Welcome back into the Sports Source. This segment brought to you by Calhouns. Number one, Alabama is in town on Saturday, so grab your pregame meal at one of the 9 area Calhouns locations, or eat at one of the 4 Calhouns locations inside Neyland Stadium if you're going to the game, or grab a Feed 5 or Feed 10 family pack for your party or your tailgate, or eat at Calhouns and watch the game there. Options, baby. Calhouns is all about the options. They got you covered. That's 13 area locations if you count the 4 inside Neyland Stadium. Calhouns, the taste of Tennessee. All right. This is our hot read segment. Brian Randolph, welcome into our show. Brian, welcome. Chuck Cavalieras down there. Chuck, thank you. This is our hot read segment, so 2 questions, 1 for each pair. I'll start with the defensive guys down here, the VFLs. Auburn had, and let's go to the graphic if we could. Auburn had 148 yards of total offense in the first quarter. Tennessee only gave up 221 more yards until that final drive. So for the majority of the game, 221 after giving up 148 in the first quarter. First quarter rushing, 87 yards. The rest of the game, just 39 yards. Gentlemen, not only did they all of a sudden stop the run, they also got pressure on the quarterback, something that we saw Darrell Taylor do against Georgia, but for the rest of the year, we hadn't seen it. Not even against UTEP and ETSU. What did we see differently? What did you guys see differently from the defense yesterday? How did they do it?
The main difference I saw in the defense was desire and confidence. Yesterday, they came out there with desire. They wanted to get to the ball. I saw 11 guys hungry to make tackles, make plays, and just go out there and get a win. But beyond that, they had confidence. I saw people that expected to win, and that's what they went out there and did. And to go out there and do that against such a talented team as Auburn with such a big playbook and a lot of threats out there, it just shows that we have a lot of improvement that we did.
I tell you what, the biggest thing in the pass rush is you had your middle, your inside of your middle, and basically Alexis Johnson, Paul Bain up against Auburn's right guard. They were beating him one-on-one, and that's what got you your pressure. They one-on-one manhandled that player for Auburn. They got in the backfield, quarterback gets rushed, then your outside pressure comes up and is able to make the play. So it was definitely, people were winning one-on-one matchups. Then Tennessee started doing TE games. And that was when they had the big sack there at the end of the game, number 13, drawing a blank on his name. But DeAndre Johnson, tackle went out. He comes underneath. The center misses him coming underneath from that game because they really hadn't run games that often. Probably another thing they put in during the off week. And that gets there. And so they had a couple of things, but really and truly what we've been talking about, you have to be able to win your one-on-ones up front. And they got that this week.
All right, Chuck and Jimmy. I was Mr. Negative before the season. I projected Tennessee to be 5-7.
Shame on you.
Yeah, no. After they lost to, yeah, it's amazing you can go from the genius to the idiot in a week. But then when they lost to West Virginia, looking at roster depth and everything else, I said, all right, is 4-8 now on the table? Okay. After the Florida game, everyone agreed with me and said 4-8, they're going to be 3-9. Now, though, you go down to Auburn. It's a bowl game back on the table. 6-6 in a bowl game. Is that back on the table?
Well, I mean, I wouldn't rule it out, but I would say tap the brakes just a little bit because you got to see how you come out of this Alabama game injury-wise. And you're going to South Carolina that has an open date to prepare for you. Look how important that was to Tennessee going to Auburn. So I think a lot of it comes down to injuries, and if you continue to improve, I wouldn't rule it out.
I think it is back on the table, and you pointed out several reasons.
We got a schedule graphic here, Jimmy. I don't know if we put that in or not. It's my fault if we didn't, but it'll give folks at home an idea if we can get that. There we go. Go ahead.
You talked about the buy-in. I think the confidence level of this team is up. There's only one game I would look on that schedule and say that's not winnable. But South Carolina, to me, is more winnable. A&M went over there and beat them. Missouri should have beat them. Charlotte is a win. Kentucky, to me, is still winnable. Missouri, when they play on the road, they're not very good. Vanderbilt's winnable. So I'm seeing more winnable games. I'm seeing 5 winnable games.
Winnable.
Winnable.
Not guaranteed wins.
Right. So that
you say winnable, some folks out there hear, oh, we've won them. So I'm just trying to temper that for you. Trying to help you there.
But if you got 5 winnable games, and you need 3 of those 5, to me, a bowl possibility is back on the table.
Yeah, very good. All right. When we come back, we're going to have, oh, wow, Sterling and Daniel. 2 guys picked Tennessee to win at Auburn. Daniel, now Sterling picks Tennessee every week, but Daniel picked Tennessee to beat Auburn. So we're going to give them some praise since I laughed them off the set 2 weeks ago. They're up next, and we're going to play a little 3 up, 3 down. Can we narrow it to three people on up who had good games yesterday? Can we find 3 guys who didn't have great games yesterday? Come on back, we'll discuss.